Once I was just a regular developer, but one day everything changed. I woke up as the Develociraptor, a software developer with a velociraptor's body. Let me tell you my story. A few years ago, a job listing in the distant icy lands of Alaska caught my eye. It promised substantial pay, so I decided to take a chance. To my surprise, I landed the job, and little did I know, it led me to a top-secret lab, working on mysterious projects. My mission? Crafting the backbone of the internal system for their enigmatic projects. On a day like any other, disaster struck. The air filled with an heavy brown smoke, and panic ensued. I frantically attempted to escape, but I plummeted to the floor, fading into an unknown abyss. The next moment revealed a strange truth. I found myself confined within a cage, like a wild beast. But as I gazed upon my own body, I realized I had transformed into a creature, some kind of dinosaur. I talked to my fellow captives, who turned out to be my colleagues from the lab. We were now shouting in disbelief and trying to break out from our cages. Our exchange was interrupted by the entrance of a man. He urged us to remain silent and informed us that they were tirelessly working on a way to reverse the effects of XY99, a substance that had transformed us into these creatures. The promise of returning to our human forms gave us hope and calmed our spirits. Weeks stretched into an unbearable eternity, and the longing for freedom grew unbearable. Fueled by desperation, we conspired a daring plan to break free from the confines of the laboratory. Mark, the once designer now transformed into a serpent, proved to be our hero. He navigated the labyrinthine ventilation system with remarkable agility and returned clutching a laptop. With it, I gained access to the main computer and delved into its files. The unsettling truth unfolded before me. XY99 had not been a random accident. It was a calculated move. It had transformed each of us into our most beloved creature. The revelation turned my blood cold, but the horrors didn't end there. I uncovered the chilling fact that, once the experiment concluded, our fates were sealed. The intention was to eliminate us, to safeguard the secrecy of their ongoing investigations. The clock was ticking, and our fight for survival had just taken on a new, urgent dimension. I accessed and hacked the security system, unleashing our fellow captives from their cages. In a frantic rush, we made a mad dash for the exits, our footsteps echoing in the chaos. The shrill alarms pierced the air, and the facility's security forces gave chase, turning the once orderly corridors into a battleground of survival. As we sprinted towards freedom, our group's unity was tested. Johnny, the elephant QA, was the first to fall behind, and then manager Panda Gina was overtaken by the relentless pursuit. In the distance, the imposing main door began to seal shut, its metallic jaws threatening to imprison us once more. It was then that I discovered my newfound speed, racing towards the closing exit. Just in time, Eagle, the UX expert, and I managed to slip through the narrowing gap, but we had to part ways. Our paths diverged, and we never laid eyes on each other again. With every ounce of strength, I leapt over the electrified exterior fence and plunged into the freezing embrace of the Alaskan woods. The chilling wilderness became my refuge, and my fight for survival had only just begun. In the harsh embrace of the Alaskan wilderness, I learned to adapt and survive. My diet primarily consisted of polar bears, and their fur became my shield against the unforgiving cold. Clad in their pelts, I trekked on. One day, I stumbled upon a village, and to my surprise, the locals were more intrigued by my appearance than alarmed. They admired what they thought was an elaborate Halloween costume. They explained that dressing as a velociraptor was common during the Halloween season, but they were taken aback by the realism of my costume. A bizarre sense of normalcy washed over me in this peculiar corner of the world. One kind-hearted villager offered a helping hand, and we embarked on a journey in his truck. Together, we made our way to my parents' hours stretched into eternity, as I desperately tried to convince my own parents that I was indeed their son. It was a battle of emotions, a tug of war between doubt and acceptance. The government found me, and they made efforts to reclaim me. But they realized that keeping me in isolation and maintaining the secrecy of their operations was the only way forward. So I signed a non-disclosure agreement to stay at home. As I settled into my newfound life at home, restrictions limiting my movements, I recognized an opportunity. With the skills I had honed over the years, I decided to embark on a new journey, creating content to help others improve and adapt in this rapidly changing world. It wasn't long before I realized that this was the way to earn a living from the comfort of my home. In many ways, I had become an entrepreneur-saurus, using my unique experiences and knowledge to carve out a niche in the digital landscape. As I continue my journey, my thoughts often wander to Eagle. I hope she's thriving and stumbles upon these videos, for she was always a special part of my past. For all of you out there, I invite you to enjoy, subscribe, and join me in this adventure. After all, in the world of Develociraptors, it's all about survival, or being devoured by the challenges of the digital age. Thank you for coming along for the ride.